All right, we're here with Josh. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man? I'm doing great.
Hey, man, I'm good. I'm good. This is our last one. This is our last interview.
You're good.
You know,
No
it's tiring, but
worries.
first of all, going into this season, new season. But how you feeling going into the season?
Honestly, man, like we're young. We're very, very, very young, and so we're focusing mainly on trying to develop these kids and trying to involve them and have them know what their role is because it matters just as much as these
Right.
other guys. You know what I mean?
Right. For you, what's kind of been like your regiment this off season in preparation for the season?
Been working a lot with my quarterbacks coach. Been working on being consistent. Been working on just being as accurate as possible and being able to be mobile when you need to. You know what I mean?
Right. Replacing a guy like Shane Eason isn't easy. Replacing some of the other guys that left too isn't easy. But how are you guys? How are those other guys though that are ready to step up in his place and make a mark for themselves? How have you seen their work and how have you seen their progression during this off season and in preparation for camp?
These guys are very fired up and they take that role with authority. You know what I mean? Like they know the significance of that role. They know the significance of coming in and replacing like these really important players that
Right.
had a big impact on the game. And so their focus is just how hard can I work? How can I compete? How can I, you know, how can I be better the next day?
Right.
And so they're really taking it day by day. And, guys like Ali Kali, who's, he's been my best friend for a while now, and seeing him really like go through that process and understanding like how much work it's going to be and, seeing that commitment and that drive, it's really awesome to see that.
Yeah, and then also you're getting, your offensive coordinator is now your head coach. The head coach is now the AD. But how much easier is that knowing, Coach Duggan? He understands everything already, but he's just only wearing a different hat, play calling from the field instead of up from the booth now. How different is that going to be for you?
I think it's going to be a great thing. I think having him on the field and being able to talk to him in those moments where, I never got to do that. I never got, because he's always up in the booth, so it's not being able to communicate like, hey, where is this guy on this play? Like, what'd you see the cornerbacks do? You know what I mean? So it's like having him down there, having to be able to communicate with him a lot more efficiently. It's going to be really, really good, especially for the other offensive players too.
Yeah. How do you think playing the full Merrimack Conference schedule is going to help this team this year?
Man, it's a tough schedule. It's a really tough schedule. So, I mean, I think that it's going to challenge us mentally, especially when you get into those third and fourth quarters, man. Like conditioning and all the prep time. We talk about it at the gym. We talk about it as a team. You're putting money in the bank every day when you wake up at those 6:45, 6 o'clock workouts. You're putting money in the bank.
Right.
So those third and fourth quarters, that's when you cash your money out. You get your money. You feel good about yourself because you're able to win those games based off of those 2 quarters alone. Even if you go into overtime, you know what I mean. So that's when it really pays off. So
I like that. I like that, putting money in the bank.
Yes, sir.
Being a quarterback, right? We're all on social media, so we've seen, we just saw Chris Vargas get named. He made history by being the first 5-star quarterback in Massachusetts history. We saw Peter Bork.
Congrats to Chris, by the way.
Shout out to Chris. We've seen Peter Bork commit to Michigan. Osiris Lopez, he was here. He's committed to Coastal Carolina. Will Wood. There's a lot of guys I can name too that's been doing really great things at the quarterback position, right? And and there's even other guys that haven't really got that attention yet, but they're still making waves in Massachusetts, and pretty soon nationally everybody's gonna know them. What do you think is how key is that for those guys in setting the bar for quarterback play in Massachusetts and showing nationally that there's a lot of talented quarterbacks in the state?
I mean, for us especially, you mentioned like the guys that maybe don't get that kind of recognition all the time. It's honestly it's a motivator. For me, I use it as a motivator because I grew up with Chris. I grew up playing with him on D Team Lawrence, and so watching him progress, it's like Massachusetts is right on the map with these other states. You know what I mean? We're just as competitive, and it's just we don't get that recognition because, we're not considered a football state. You know what I mean? So it's like, but as specifically in the quarterback position, it's really awesome to see these guys, and it raises that roof for quarterbacks especially. We got guys at M2 QB Academy going to Trevor Knight, working with those guys, and the development that we're seeing, in the quarterback room across MVC, and not even just across Mass in general. general.
Right,
It's just
definitely.
it raises that bar, and it really is showing people that we can ball too, and that's a great feeling, especially coming from a kid who's played Methuen ball, played Massachusetts ball my entire life.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. And also, you just talk about Osiris. How key was that? Him staying at Leominster and being able to get to Coastal Carolina by staying at Leominster. You know, this is the era of transferring and stuff like that, going
hmm
somewhere else. But he was able to stay and got that look, right? How important is that, and how for not only for himself but also just for like kids in that community and surrounding communities to see you could stay at a local school and still get somewhere.
Honestly, man, like with Osiris, it's you see these kids come in and you see that talent, and you immediately you're like, oh, he's gonna go to this, he's gonna go to private school, he's gonna try to, because that's how it's the biggest thing is like that's how you get more exposure to some players. But with him, I think when he stuck with that Leominster route and really showed that that's his home, that's where he wants to play, he has a family there, like that. I think it's a great thing, and it really like it shows that, especially on Osiris's character, it shows his character. Like he's a team guy, he's a family guy. He's not going to walk away because he wants to be in the team. He values the team more than himself, and that being like that selfless player, especially as being a quarterback, it's a very important attribute to have.
Right.
So
And he's next. He's next, my
yeah, I
man. Good
appreciate you,
luck on
man.
the season. Stay healthy, and then we'll be at a Methuen game.
Appreciate
We'll
it,
be
man.
there.
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right,
it, man.
man. We're out of here.
See ya.